Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're gonna be talking about Cyberpunk 2077, or well, more specifically, I'm gonna be going through the latest popular new mods for the game and which ones I'm currently using in my playthrough. Do keep in mind that before we get into this, there are going to be some mods which you will have to install, the must-have mods, before we continue on to anything else. This is specifically for new players who have never downloaded any mods from Nexus when it comes to Cyberpunk itself. So we're gonna go through this and then we're going to go through the rest of the mods which I really think you should have. Keep in mind, if you already have these mods like Cyber Engine tweaks, etc, then you can go and skip this for the next chapter, but let me go and talk about it. So before we go and install mods, this is the mods we're going to need before that. So the first mod you're going to get is Cyber Engine tweaks. This should be the first mod you get when you are actually downloading Cyberpunk mods, so start with this one, Cyber Engine tweaks. After that you have Appearance Menu Mod, or AMM, which is going to give you the ability to spawn many things in the game to also serve as a foundation for other mods. So keep in mind, other mods which you install are going to require this in order to run, so Appearance Menu Mod is the one you have to install. After that, Red 4 EXT, then Archive XL, then Tweak XL, then Redscript, then CyberCMD, then Codeware. After that you put Input Loader Mod, and after that one you put Mod Settings, Native Settings UI, then Equipment EX, very important mod for all of the clothing options we're going to talk about today, so definitely install this one as well. And Material and Texture Override. I know there is quite a bit of mods here, but once you install all of these mods, every other mod is just going to be drag and drop and you don't have to worry about anything else. So the first and biggest mod for Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm going to feature this time, is going to be Hulk Hogan's HD Reworked project. You probably know Hulk Hogan from The Witcher because he was the one which did all of the HD reworks on that game, and basically his mods were used as a foundation for The Witcher 3 Next Gen update, where they updated the graphics themselves. Now keep in mind, Hulk Hogan did the same thing for Cyberpunk 2077, where he took a bunch of assets, he upscaled them, and at the same time he optimized them well enough so that you don't lose like 60 frames when you install this mod. There's also going to be two versions of the mod you can install. I'm going to talk about them soon, but as you can see from the work he presented here, and especially into the game itself, if you look at the ground textures, if you look at the walls themselves, this is going to be absolutely stunning. His work is amazing. The texture wise, it's going to look beautiful. Now, when it comes to versions of the mod, there's going to be two versions, the balanced one and the one which gives you, well, the most quality. The balanced one is going to increase the usage of your GPU by 400 megabytes, so basically your VRAM is going to go up by 400 megabytes. This is the mod I recommend for most people to install. If you're not running a resolution higher than 1080p on your monitor, do not install the bigger ones. But of course, if you want 4K textures, 2K textures for 4K or 2K displays, then you can install the one down here. But keep in mind, this one is going to increase the budget of your GPU by 800 megabytes. So you're going to need a relatively strong GPU in order to run this, but you know, not that one. So honestly, I just recommend installing the balanced one. It's going to increase like the texture budget for 400 megabytes, but it's not going to be a problem because, well, if you have a relatively strong PC, this is going to be running quite well. I don't think I even lost like that many frames on my PC, but yeah. Now the next mod I'm going to tell you to install, even though I covered it before, is Natural Californian Light Mod, or NCLM. NCLM is going to change how your game looks, at least when it comes to color scheme, without having a need to install Reshade. Reshade can usually tank your frame rate, and you know, not a lot of people want to go into that, but you can just download this mod, drag and drop it like with every other mod, and it's going to work. So what is it going to do? Well, as I said, it's going to give you a more natural Californian light. It's going to remove some of the green tint from the original game, so some people might not like that. So if you want a more natural look overall, you can install this mod. It definitely looks beautiful. Like if you look at the sunset, for example, if you look at how the light works on various terrain here and how generally it looks. I mean, it is very nice, it is very beautiful. And one thing which I noticed with this is that you have all of these LEDs like pop up during the night, which makes it look very beautiful, especially also during the day. Like some of these things are going to be highlighted than they are in the original game. So this looks very beautiful and I recommend installing it. The next mod we're going to talk about is going to be Survival System. Survival System mod is nice because, well, it adds several things into the game, like for example energy, satiation and hydration. What this means is that as you walk around, as you spend your days in Night City, well, your hunger and energy is going to go down. So for that you will have to eat, drink and sleep to replenish. So if we go to our inventory and we go to backpack, there's going to be a few new things we're going to see. Energy, satiation, hydration, as I said. So hydration is going to influence our maximum health, regeneration, stamina regeneration and movement speed. Similar is going to be about satiation, where it gives you health, you know, stamina, jump height, carry capacity. Energy is going to be the same. Also, it's going to influence your memory and its recovery. So if you want to influence this, for energy we'll have to sleep. For hydration we have to drink. So we have the lime here, we drink this, it's going to go up. We drink this, it's going to go up. We drink this, it's going to go up. Keep in mind, if we skip time, our needs are going to, you know, go down. So for example, the more I wait, more of my energy goes down, and you can actually choose if this goes to 0, well, you die. So every single time something happens, like for example this, you're going to get a notification saying serious overstrain level detected, reduce stress, so go find some rest as possible. I do believe also you can sit in some place and it's going to replenish your energy as well. Now, if we go to mod settings, we're going to go to survival system. Some of these things by default can be a little bit annoying, at least when it comes to notifications. I do think that these effects kind of go a little bit too fast, but you can change and influence how these settings are going to work. So you can pretty much change the mod so it fits your needs and how you want your severity and fatigue to go out throughout the game. So you can kind of, you know, look for it yourself. This is a great mod, you know, for people who don't want to go too far into realism, then this can be a little bit annoying, but if you wanted a system like this, well, it is implemented into the game through a mod. So the next mod we're going to install are going to be vehicle mods. There has been 3 new standalone vehicles added by mod authors, which I think are impressive and they work really well. Now, in order to work this, you will have to get a virtual car shop, so the mod is going to be on the list. I'm going to show you in a second how to use it. So the first vehicle we're going to showcase is the 92 NSX Rocket Bunny. This is an amazing vehicle. It looks good from the actual quality perspective, and also it drives really well. You call this car like any other car you call in the game through the menu itself, which again I'm going to show you how to do it. So first off, if we get into the car itself, we can hear the engine a little bit. So it's going to be very similar to the other cars you have. And for example, when it comes to speed, it's really good. Like, look at this. It is absolutely gorgeous if you go through the city in this vehicle itself. And also, if we brake, like you can look, the backside is going to have a little bit of a nice little opacity change when it comes to the actual lights in the back. So it's really nice. So I definitely recommend installing this car. Next standalone vehicle I'm going to showcase is the BMW E30 M3 1991. This is a beautiful vehicle overall, which you can get into the game. It is very straightforward installation. I'm going to show you in a second how to do it, but overall the vehicle itself is absolutely gorgeous once you go and drive it, and also it performs really well. Like, let's look at it for a second. It has a little bit of a problem when it comes to acceleration, but overall once you get used to it, it is pretty okay. But also one of the most important things in all of this is that it is well designed, and also like the quality of the material used and the quality of the finish done on the vehicle is really good. So as you can see, the performance of the car is going to be really nice to go around Night City. And honestly, even though it's not really lore friendly, it is still kinda understandable to have this vehicle in the game because, well, Porsche exists, so can BMW. Now when it comes to M3, there is going to be a certain way to install this, but actually I thought this is going to be a very nice way to show you how to do it in general in case you come across this. So once you go to manual download, you'll have to download two files. First off, you'll have to download this one and then this one. Now let me show you how to install it. So once we downloaded that, we're going to have two files, the main one and the colors. We're going to start this one first. We're going to double click this, and here we're going to see archive and R6. So what we're going to do is drag and drop like always. Once we have done that, we're going to go to colors. Click here. Keep in mind, there's going to be different colors here. If you hover over it, it's going to tell you which paint finish is it going to be. Only take one. So this is going to be archive file. To get this in, go to archive, PC, mod, and only take one file. So if you have soft blue, we're only going to take soft blue and put it here, and then we're going to start the game. If you want to change the color, you're going to find this, so it's going to be here, like for example, there we go, paint black. We're going to remove this, delete it, and replace it with a different color. That's it. And the last vehicle on the list, and personally my favorite, is the Nissan Skyline GTR R34, but this also has the C West kit. Now this vehicle, when it comes to sound, when it comes to overall look of the vehicle and the quality of the material being used here, how well it actually looks here, like look at that, Archer tires, very nice. This is my favorite vehicle by far when it comes to standalone vehicles. Also, the sound of the car is amazing. Take a look at this. As you can hear, the sound is amazing. The vehicle looks absolutely gorgeous, so I definitely recommend installing this one if you want some more vehicles in the game. Now let me show you how to get these vehicles. Now look, in order to get these cars, you're going to need a virtual car shop. Once you install this mod, which I'm going to leave you in the description, you go to your PC. Here we're going to see car dealer. Now keep in mind that car dealer itself is basically like a shop, and people have been adding various sort of vehicles for you to get here. So these are not the only vehicles you can get. There's a lot of floor friendly vehicles from the game, various car packs you can get. So my advice is go around Nexus and search around a bit, or check out my previous videos. So here we have like the vehicle. For me it's sold out because I got it, but here we can go next and we can see like which car we want. You can change different colors of the vehicle depending on which one you're going to want, etc, etc. Of course, I have only a limited amount of vehicles here which I have at my disposal because I didn't install more, but this is going to be how it's generally going to be done. And once you buy the vehicle, it's going to be in your garage and you can call it just like any other vehicle whatsoever. Now the next mod is going to be a little bit older, but it's still very much necessary for future mods we're going to install, and also, well, it's going to be good if you want to upgrade your cars a little bit. So the mod is called Car Modification Shop, and once you install it on your map, you're going to see this icon right here. So it's going to be in this location in Watson District in Northside. So you go to Techie right here, so this garage over here. Now once we go here, we're going to approach this and we're going to be able to change a few things like engine, transmission, suspension, tires, brakes, and weight reduction. So if you go to engine, we can have various stages. So stage 3 is going to be the most expensive one, yeah. So here we have, like for example, baskets, like we're going to go with racing, camshaft and cam gears, etc, etc. We're going to confirm upgrade. And that's it. Now our car is going to be a lot faster than before. Like for example, we go now, car is a lot faster than before. So this is like what I recommend installing, because every single vehicle in the game that you have, you can go through this and well, make it better. So when it comes to clothing mods, now that we have a virtual atelier, we're going to install some shops. So the shop that I'm going to recommend, because it's new one, especially if you're playing female Wii, is called Nola and Meluminari Atelier. Once you install this, you have to also install Nola and Meluminari clothing. So this could be part 1, part 2, depending which one you're going to download. I'm going to leave you part 1 for now. So once you go to your PC, we're going to go Atelier, and we're going to find this one, Nola and Illuminati Atelier. I'm going to talk about this one and this one later on. So we click on it, and here we're going to have different pieces of clothing in general. So for example, we can take this and it's going to change it. Or do we want something else? Or do we want different pieces of clothing? Like for example, you can see here, all of that you can basically select and click F to purchase these parts, and that's it. You have the clothing you need. Now, as I said, the next store we're going to visit is going to be Peachu Hyst Atelier store. So these are also very talented mod authors, so you can download their store, and also below the store you're going to have to download files which you want, like which pieces of clothing you want. So once you get it, you're going to have a few things. So just as it was with the previous store, you click on it and it's going to, well, change the actual clothing on the person itself, and it was always purchase, take it, and then of course everything here is going to be also available in the wardrobe here. And also third shop I'm going to tell you to get is going to be MONSTERAider. MONSTERAider also creates amazing clothing options, amazing various accessories for your character, which I'm going to show you right now. So for example, for this one we're going to download Mr. Victor Vector store. Same as always, download the store and then also the items for it, which is also going to be in the description. So right now we're going to focus on Psycho Visors, because this is actually something people have been asking for from Maelstrom. Don't pay attention to this, I was testing something. And as it was for everything, you can go into this store or in the wardrobe and change how your character is going to look like. For example, we can see we can add different head items to our characters, which are going to stay once we purchase them and change them in our inventory overall. But of course, as it was with previous mod authors, don't forget to check out their other work, because they have a lot. Next mod we're going to install is going to be new sounds for SMGs and rifles. So basically now in the game, if you have this mod, your weapons are going to sound like this. This is a little bit different from the vanilla sound, so if you actually want to install this, well, I recommend you do. It's going to give you somewhat different sounds. I mean, it's not going to be that big of a difference, but I like these sounds a little bit. So for this, you're going to have to install two mods. The first one is going to be called Autofire Audio Fix for RedMod, so install this one first, and then after that go new sounds for SMGs and rifles, and that's it. Now the next mod we're going to install, or well, there's a series of mods, is created by XillaMonster. So what XillaMonster did is that they've created high-res textures for various sort of characters within the game. Now the only thing here, you will have to download mod by mod when it comes to this, but I'm going to give you few of these. So if you want the rest, go to, well, XillaMonster actual profile, and where you can download most of these high-res texture packs for various characters. So basically what is this going to do? Well, it's going to increase the texture quality of various characters you meet throughout the game, both main characters or side characters, as well as some other characters which are minor in importance, but still, if you want that for your game, if you really want to get the graphical fidelity up, then I recommend installing these mods for characters which you want to install for. I mean, or you can install every single one, that's not going to be a problem, but overall looks beautiful, and XillaMonster did an amazing job upscaling the textures of these characters. Now the next mod we're going to install is going to be Romance Replays. So when it comes to Romance Replays themselves, you have to go to the Northside apartment to start them. So this means you will have to purchase the Northside apartment, which you can do on the internet. Go to Easy Estates and go and purchase this one over here. Now, if we go to outside and we go to fast travel, we're going to go up here to the Northside apartments. We're going to fast travel there. So once we are here, we're going to go to our apartment. We're going to go in over here, and here we are going to be able to sit in this chair and start our romance replay. So what is this going to do? It's going to give you an option to replay romance moment and missions with characters that you were actually like, you know, going with. So for example, here we have Panam and Meredith. So if we click it, we're going to go and relive this moment with her that we had before. And of course, I'm not going to play this entire scene. Next mod we're going to talk about, and definitely one of my personal favorites, is Combat Failures by Donkey Sharp. So this mod is nice because it's going to add certain features into the game which I thought were actually going to be a part of vanilla, but sadly they were not. It adds a few things. First off, weapon jam, it can have dot grenades and also cyberware failure. So as you're shooting with your weapon, sometimes there is going to be a chance that your weapon is going to jam. Now of course this will depend on various factors I'm going to show you in a second. So if you go to mod settings and we go to combat failures, here you can see like how much do you want this to happen. So if you have a better weapon, how much do you want this weapon to jam. So you can play around with this to make it worse or better. You can also change how cyberware is going to work, like for example double jump. So sometimes your double jump has an ability to fail, and this can cause, well, some problems. So if you want to do it, you can do it that way. Charge jump, optical camo can fail, Sandavistan can fail, Berserk can fail, grenades, etc, etc. So yeah, the mod itself is amazing. It is going to, as I said, give you that ability that sometimes you cannot really rely on your hardware fully. You cannot rely on your weapons fully because sometimes they're going to jam. And if it does jam, just quickly reload and that's going to be it. And now I'm going to show you how to install these mods in the first place. Do keep in mind that 95 or 96% of the mods for Cyberpunk are installed in the same way. So this is your main Cyberpunk directory that you will have. It's going to be the same for GOG, for Steam or Epic Games or wherever else you actually bought the game. Now there's going to be much less files here than there is here because I have all of the mods. First off, the mods folder here, which you see like mods folder right here. If your directory here doesn't have it, you can just create a new folder, call it mods, and that's it. Empty folder, mods, done. Or on the other hand, you can go and install RedMod, which I'm going to show you how to install after this. So if you look at the mods you download from Nexus Mod Manager, they're all going to be well zipped. So for this you will have to use WinRAR or WinZip or whatever you're going to use. And usually once you open it, you're going to see a few files. It's going to be either bin or archive or R6, or it's going to be something else. Now as you can see, we have R6 and archive here, and here we also have R6 and archive. So the only thing you have to do is pretty much drag and drop. Just take this file and drag it here, and it's going to, what it's going to do, it's going to add these files over here. So it's not going to replace anything, it's not going to delete anything, it's simply going to place the files in the directory that you want to place it in. This goes same, like for example, always first equip, drag and drop. Red4ext bin, so the Red4ext folder is going to be a new one. It's not going to be here, that's why we're installing it so early in our mod files. So same thing, drag and drop, that's it. Same for this one, R6 Red4ext, we already are going to have Red4ext, simply drag and drop, and that's it. Now sometimes you're going to open up this thing and there is going to be only one file, like for example, there is going to be only an archive file. So for this, usually it's going to go into archive, PC, mod. There we go. If you see .archive file, it always goes in this one right here, or at least in 99% cases going to go to archive, PC, mod, that's it. If you do want to have your Cyber Engine tweaks or something else, we're going to go to bin, x64, plugins, and you're going to see Cyber Engine tweaks. The reason why it's done this way is because people have created frameworks in order to have other mods work on top of them. So that's it. Next up, we're going to install RedMod. RedMod is a support or well integration from CD Projekt Red, which allows people to create and implement mods. Before that, keep in mind people created their own framework, and that's why today you have a few ways of installing mods, and not all mod authors are going to work in RedMod itself, or at least they're not going to utilize it fully because they have other frameworks to work in. So right here we have the RedMod page. Only thing you have to do, you have RedMod DLC here, click on the one where your game is, either Epic Store, Steam or GOG. Below you have documentation and plugins. This is kinda for mod creators, so you don't have to worry about that. So just download the one which you have, click it, download it, install it. It's pretty straightforward installation, and that's it. That's the only thing you have to do. So now, if you're on GOG or Steam or whatever, you're going to go to here, you're going to go manage installation, you're going to go configure. After this, we're going to go to DLCs. And here we're going to see Cyberpunk 2077 RedMod. If this thing is enabled, which means that your mods are going to be enabled and everything is going to work. Also, if you go to features, make sure that you have enable mods checked. If it's checked already, then you're going to be good, but if this is not checked, just check it, click OK, and that's it, you're ready to mod away. And this is everything we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these mods, don't forget to tell me down below. Also, if you have any questions about installing them or you're having any issues, just write them down below and I'll try to help as much as I can. Also, if there's any mods I missed or some of the mods I haven't covered yet, just write them down below and I will be sure to cover them in my future Cyberpunk 2077 modding videos. So, again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and if you wanted an extra way to support the channel, you can do it through Patreon or directly on YouTube. This is LKM signing out. Stay classy everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.